Hello, beautiful listeners. 'Tis I, Felicity, your host. If you're new here, hi. I'm a professional cuddler for the past 5 years and a podcaster for the past 4 years. Salutations to every listener who found me through another podcast. I was recently interviewed on Left-Handed Journeys with Jira Brown. Go give it a listen if you haven't already. I'm not actually left-handed, but the full transcript is on Jira's Substack. I infrequently publish articles about professional cuddling to my Substack. If you're tuning into the YouTube premiere of this episode, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Do you like the new thumbnails? I'm so proud of myself for making the thumbnail art. If this is your first time listening to me, I have an episode on the cuddle industry in Mexico and the Caribbean. Mexico is part of NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. So Mexico is considered North America. In this episode, I'll discuss Mesoamerica, also known as Central America, before South America. In addition to talking about the cuddle industry in each respective country, I'll give a brief overview of the country itself. Now, without further ado, let's get on with the show. How do you say cuddling in your language? We're stuck in legal limbo because sex work isn't decriminalized yet. Why is there a Wikipedia page for cuddle parties, but not for professional cuddling? No, Felicity, it's facilitator, not felicitator. It's not a replacement for therapy, but it is therapeutic. Mesoamerica. One of my favorite facts about this region is that millions of years ago, an extraterrestrial rock collided with the Yucatan Peninsula, which is in the southern part of Mexico. That impact event wiped out a majority of dinosaurs. I'm a huge dinosaur nerd, don't judge me, but despite having been to Mexico before as a child, I've never been to the historic parts to go see the pyramids or where the asteroid hit planet Earth long ago. If there are any cuddle clients tuning in, I would love a fly me to you to Mexico so we can see all the ancient Mayan sites and whatnot. I unfortunately found nothing related to the cuddle industry in Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Panama. If you have info, please send it my way, and I will discuss that on a future episode. Let's begin with Belize. Belize is bordered by Mexico in the north and Guatemala in the south. Belize is the least populated country in Central America. As of 2022, their population is about 440,000 people, not even a million people. The capital city is Belmopan, but the largest city is Belize City. Languages spoken in Belize include Spanish, German, Mandarin, and Garifuna, a language indigenous to Belize. Their currency is the Belizean dollar. Over a third of working Belizeans are employed in the agriculture sector. Agriculture accounts for about 22% of Belize's GDP and 60% of all export revenues. More than half of the fertile land in Belize is used for sugarcane. Other than sugar, Belize exports plenty of bananas, grapefruits, oranges, cocoa, papaya, chili peppers, beef, pork, lobster, and shrimp. Gosh, I am hungry. And by the way, every time I do an episode about a region of the world, I look to Wikipedia and World Atlas. Those are my sources. I always include them in my outlines on Patreon. For this episode, I will include the Wikipedia page for United States and Belize relations. 90% of what I put on my Patreon is free, so go check it out. I found a cuddle provider in the Plasencia region of Belize. According to Wikipedia, Plasencia is a small village located in the Stan Creek district of Belize. Wow, that is a very small town population. It's not even 1,000 people. I found this cuddle provider on cuddlecomfort.com. Her username is Amanda Jane. She has 3 photos on her profile. She is 43 years old. Oh my goodness, the waters look so beautiful in her photos. She has a lot of positive reviews. She does not have a gender preference for cuddle clients, but she does say that her preferred age is 40 and up. I mean, that makes sense. She is 53. In her About Me, it says, independent, empathetic, intelligent, kind, snuggly, quick to laugh when things are funny, loves good movies and music, an accomplished rollerblader, an avid morning swimmer in the ocean. I've been vaccinated against COVID since January of 2021. Good for you, Amanda Jane. Good for you. I have no idea what the vaccination rates are in Belize. If anyone listening knows Amanda Jane, please reach out to her for me. Say that Felicity from Pro Cuddle Hustle podcast sent you. She seems like a nice woman, and I would love to interview her for this podcast and ask what is it like to be a pro cuddler in Belize, because I know so little about that culture. I live in a part of the United States with a lot of Latinos, plenty of Mexicans. I've met Guatemalans, Guatemalans, I've met Hondurans, I've met Salvadorans, but I don't think I've met anyone from Belize. And I would love to know more and explore that. Sadly, I did not find anything about cuddle workshops or cuddle parties in Belize. I did not find any profiles of cuddle clients in that country, so I'm moving on to Costa Rica. The Republic of Costa Rica is bordered by Nicaragua in the north and Panama to the southeast. Costa Rica is surrounded by the Pacific Ocean and Caribbean Sea. Their capital city is San Jose. Languages spoken in Costa Rica include Spanish, Jamaican Patois, and Bribri, a language indigenous to Costa Rica. As of 2022, over 5.2 million people live in Costa Rica. The local currency is the Costa Rican colon. The national flag consists of 2 blue stripes, 2 white stripes, and 1 thick red stripe. The biggest industries in Costa Rica are tourism, agriculture, and manufacturing. Their exports include coffee, pineapples, bananas, potatoes, sugar, rice, and corn. About 12% of Costa Rica's labor force works in tourism. But for those not in the tourism sector, there is cuddle therapy. I found a professional cuddler in Costa Rica on Cuddle Companions. Her username is Girl Friday. She has a lot of photos of herself. Once again, the water in these photos are beautiful. Her location says she lives in Guanacaste province, Nosara in Costa Rica. Nosara is on the western part of Costa Rica. According to Wikipedia, about 5,000 people lived in Nosara in 2011. Nosara is known for many things, such as, okay, so they have a wildlife refuge, and I'm looking at photos of turtles. Sea turtles are so cute! But yes, Nosara is known for several things, but I am always stoked to look at photos of turtles. But going back to our lovely cuddle practitioner in the Guanacaste province, she has a graduate degree, she has a passport, she speaks English and Spanish. And she says at the age of 4, she began learning how to play piano and taking yoga and horseback riding lessons. She loves to read. She's a Scorpio, if you care about astrology. She says a bunch of things about yoga, which Nosara is known for. If I have any listeners who know Girl Friday, please reach out to her for me. Tell her that her curly hair is gorgeous. The dog in her photo is really cute. Ooh, she does aerial yoga. I hope this person is also an acrobat. I would love to meet another professional cuddler who is also an acrobat. She seems like a nice woman, and I would love to talk to her about Costa Rican culture. I've never been to Costa Rica. Ooh, I found a gay male cuddler in Puerto Rico. I should have mentioned that in my Caribbean episode. My bad. I'm on cuddlecompanions.com. I found this one person whose username is Warm Tallish Pillow, but it says he lives in Orocovis, Puerto Rico. Sigh, I've never been to Puerto Rico, but if I had an account on cuddlecompanions.org and I was going to Puerto Rico, I would definitely reach out to him and ask Warm Tallish Pillow, what is it like being not just a professional cuddler in Puerto Rico, but a gay male pro cuddler in general? I've known for years that male pro cuddlers exist. Most of them are straight white men. If you're listening to this, Warm Tallish Pillow, I am also a queer pro cuddler of color. Let's talk. You seem like a very genuine person, and I like your glasses. Oh yeah, I did not find anything about cuddle parties or cuddle workshops in Costa Rica. But hey, maybe Girl Friday is an aspiring cuddle party facilitator. I don't know. But what I do know is that it's time to talk about the cuddle industry in South America. One of the few continents entirely south of the equator. South America is home to Angel Falls, the world's tallest uninterrupted waterfall. That waterfall may ring a bell if you've seen one of my favorite Pixar movies, Up. South America is home to the Andes Mountains, the world's longest continental mountain range, also the highest mountain range outside of the Himalayas. South America is home to Machu Picchu, a World Heritage Site that I would love to visit. It's a relic of the Inca Empire. Cuddle clients, please book a fly me to you in Peru so we can see one of the 7 wonders of the world. I haven't been to any one of these 7 wonders. The most dangerous earthquake ever recorded happened in South America. According to the Richter scale, a 9.5 earthquake occurred in Chile in 1960. I'm pretty sure there are survivors who are still alive. I wonder if any of them are listening to my voice right now. After the Great Chilean Earthquake, Hawaii and Japan were affected by subsequent tsunamis. I presume all of my listeners are fluent in English, but there are probably resources entirely in Spanish that are better than the ones I'm using for this podcast episode. First state out of the gate. Colombia is an equatorial country. Their flag features yellow, blue, and red red horizontal stripes. Colombia borders 5 countries, 4 of them being in South America and 1 being in Central America. Their most populous city is Bogota with over 10 million people. Their second most populous city is Medellin with over 4 million people. The Colombian landmass covers over 1 million square kilometers. The country's population is over 50 million people. Bogota, Colombia is the third most populous city in South America, boasting approximately 12.7 million people. My source is populationreview.com. I found a cuddle provider in Bogota on Cuddle Companions. They have an eccentric username. It's soft. I don't know how many F's are in that, but in Soft's About section, it says, I'm 5'6". I have dark brown hair and brown eyes. Student on the second year of college. I also don't know when she last updated her about. She's majoring in electrical engineering. She likes to exercise, watch movies, and eat at restaurants. She says, and I can tell from her photos, she wears glasses and has short hair, and her top 3 musicians at the moment are Drake, The Weeknd, and Billie Eilish. Oh my, it said she was last online in December of 2022. She does not have a passport. She does not own a car, but she speaks English and Spanish fluently. Oh my goodness. It says that she's 19 years old. That's the same age I was when I started professional cuddling. So she's younger than me, and I'm 24 as of recording. It says that she cuddles men and women because she's bisexual. Hey, howdy, hey. If you're listening, I would love to have you on Pro Cuddle Hustle podcast. On Cuddle Up, I found several cuddle clients in Colombia. I found one in the Barranquilla region, the Florida Blanca region. I found 2 in the Florida Blanca region, 2 in the Cali and the Ibagué region. Colombia is close to the country of Venezuela. That's the one where Angel Falls is at. So I did find 1 cuddle client in the Caracas region. I don't know if that's the Spanish pronunciation or Portuguese. Carasa. Feel free to roast my Portuguese and my Spanish. Rafael Osario in Venezuela. What is it like being a Pisces 43-year-old cuddle client in Venezuela? You could be the first cuddle client I interview for my show. Let's make it happen. If you, dear listener, are a cuddle client in an eastern city of Venezuela like Maturin, Cumana, or Puerto La Cruz, I presume the closest provider to you is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines or Guyana. I bring out those 2 countries in my Caribbean episode. If you're a cuddle client living in a western city of Venezuela like Maracaibo, the closest cuddle provider to you is probably in Bogota, Colombia. As of 2022, over 29 million people live in Venezuela. The official currency of Venezuela is the Venezuelan bolivar. Over 50% of the indigenous people in Venezuela is Wayu. Indigenous languages in Venezuela include Wayu, Warao, and Bemon. Caracas is the capital and largest city of Venezuela. Caracas is sister cities with Panama City and New Orleans in Louisiana, which is in the United States. Georgetown is the capital and largest city in Guyana. Georgetown has attractions such as the Stabroek Market and the Demerara Harbor Bridge. Guyana is the 3rd smallest sovereign state by area in mainland South America after Uruguay and Suriname. Guyana is the 2nd least populous sovereign state in South America after Suriname, and is also one of the least densely populated countries on Earth. The 2022 estimate for their population is about 800,000 people. I could not find any cuddle client accounts on Cuddle Up in Guyana. I did find a cuddle provider. Her username is Rennie19. Her profile says she lives in Georgetown, which is in the Demerara Mahaika municipality. She has several photos of her face. She has a really cute face. Her about section says, "Hi guys, my name is Renisha and I'm 19. She was last online in July of 2022. When you compare South America to North America, people in South America tend to begin at a much younger age. Moving back to Renisha, I'm from Guyana, I like swimming, I'm very adventurous, I'm open to traveling, and I'm a big time cuddler. I love pets. Does anybody else feel the same about pets? Yes, Renisha, I feel the exact same way. By the way, I'm currently attending college and I'm majoring in sociology. At this point, I don't know what to write here because I hate hate writing about myself. I might be a tough nut to crack at times, but believe me when I say I'm not boring and I'm not shy. Lots of love. It says in addition to being a professional cuddler, Renisha is a tutor and a hospital clerk. She has a passport. She does not own a car. She speaks English. As of 2023, she is 20 years old. She is 5'2". Her hair color is dark brown. She is of mixed race. Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't most Guyanese people East Indian and black? Renisha cuddles men and women, and she is bisexual. If you're listening to this episode, you already know what I'm gonna say. Can I please interview you? Please, please. Lots of love. Guyana is the only South American nation in which English is the official language. A majority of the population speak Guyanese Creole as a first language. According to Wikipedia, 9 indigenous tribes reside in Guyana: the Waiwai, Makushi, Patamona, Lokono, Kalina, Wapashana, Pemon, Akawayo, and Warao. The main economic activities in Guyana are agriculture, so rice and demerara sugar, bauxite, which is a mineral that is mostly aluminum, and gold mining, timber, seafood, crude oil, and natural gas. The major sports in Guyana are cricket, basketball, football, and volleyball. Guyana is part of the West Indies cricket team for international cricket purposes. Guyana featured a beach volleyball team at the 2019 South American Beach Games. Good for you, Guyana. I'm sorry, listeners from Suriname, I did not find anything pertaining to the cuddle industry. The closest cuddle provider to you is probably Renisha in Georgetown, Guyana. Oh yeah, Guyana and French Guyana are two different states. I found nothing in French Guyana. Guyana is often spelled with a Y, whereas French Guyana is spelled with an I. So if you're in French Guyana, the closest provider to you is probably still Renisha in Georgetown, Guyana. Ecuador, I found nothing. So the closest cuddle provider to you is possibly in Bogota, Colombia. On to Peru. People from Peru are Peruvian. Languages spoken in Peru include Spanish, Quechua, and Aymara. The Republic of Peru is bordered by Ecuador and Colombia in the north, Brazil in the east, Bolivia in the southeast, and Chile in the south. The local currency is the Peruvian sol. Peru is the third largest country in South America. Over 34 million people live in Peru. Peru's national bird is the Andean cock of the rock. I am not kidding. Their flag is a vertical triband. The 2 outer stripes are red and the center stripe is white. Peru's Flag Day is celebrated June 7th, less than a month from now, as of recording. One of Lima's attraction is Huaca Juliana, which is a adobe pyramid in the Miraflores district of Lima. Cuddle clients, please take me there. I promise we will have a grand time if you book a weekend getaway for us. On cuddleup.com, I found 4 cuddle clients who live in Lima. I found 1 cuddle client in Arequipa. Arequipa is sister cities with Puebla, Mexico, and Charlotte, North Carolina in the United States. Arequipa's anthem is 4th Centenary Anthem. Centenary means the 100th anniversary of a significant event. If you're a cuddle client in the northern part of Peru, like Trujillo, the nearest provider to you is probably in Bogota, Colombia. If you're in the middle of Peru, like Lima, you could either do Bogota, Colombia, or Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia. If you're in the southern part, like Juliaca, then the nearest provider to you is in Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia. If you are a Peruvian professional cuddler outside of Peru, please come on the show and talk to me why you think cuddle providers are not as abundant in your home country, even though there are cuddle clients out there searching for hugs. Okay, Brazil. Brazil is the largest country in South America and the 5th largest country in the world. Portuguese is the official language of Brazil, and some minority languages include Brazilian Sign Language and Baniwa. Their capital is Brasilia, but their most populous city is Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo is the most populous city in South America, boasting 22.6 million people. Rio de Janeiro is the 3rd most populous country in South America, but I sadly didn't find professional cuddlers in that city. If you're a cuddle client who lives in the northern part of Brazil, like Belém, then the closest provider to you is in São Luís. São Luís is in the top 20 most populous cities in Brazil. São Luís is known as the reggae capital in Brazil, and the historical town is famous for their azulejo tiles, earning the nickname the Tiles City. I found a provider in São Luís on cuddlecompanions.org. Her username is adorable miss. There's a hyphen in there. The about section says, I'm a sweet, thoughtful, respectful, honest, and open-minded person. Love animals, nature, outdoor and indoor activities, music, travel, watching movies, and cuddling. Smiling emoticon. Would love to be your cuddle partner and have a connection with you. I'm free to travel with you and free to receive you if you want to come to me. Would love to have some fun, quality time with you. Please just send a message and let's talk. Be sure I'm going to be attentive and kind. Just give me a chance and you will not regret this decision. Winking emoji. She only has one photo and it's of her face. She was last online in December of 2022. She is a designer, no specification on the website, but she does have a bachelor's degree. She has a passport. She does not own a car, but she is fluent in both English and Portuguese, and she does not smoke. She's in her early 30s. She's Latina, bisexual, will cuddle men and women. If you're a Cuddle client anywhere south of Brasilia, then the closest providers to you are in Sao Paulo. If you live in Salvador, that's almost smack dab in the middle of São Luís and Sao Paulo, so take your pick. The Sao Paulo provider I found is listed on cuddlecompanions.org. Her username is Anastasia BR. I think all websites in Brazil, instead of having .com, they all have .br. A Brazilian person, please confirm. Anyways, Anastasia's profile has several photos. Her makeup is done impeccably. Her skin is glowing. Her about reads, "Hello you all," smile emoticon. "I'm a university student. I live in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I came across this site and the idea of it is really appealing to me. I'm a good cuddler and I absolutely love taking care of people. I enjoy long walks on the beach and nature trails. I love eating out at restaurants or going wine tasting. I love going out to concerts, plays, or going to the movies. I also enjoy cooking alongside someone for a homemade dinner and companionship. If you ever find yourself in Brazil and need a guide, it will be my pleasure. I am up to travel around the world if you feel like taking me closer to you." It says she was last online in March of 2023. She has a job in social media. She has a bachelor's degree. She owns a car and a passport. She is fluent in English, Portuguese, and Spanish. She is 23. Wow, so she's younger than me. She's Latina, she's bisexual, and she cuddles men and women. I am so happy with all the bisexual Latin people that I'm discovering with y'all. Anastasia, I hope you're listening to this podcast, and if not, I hope one of my listeners knows Anastasia. If you are a Brazilian who lives in a city like Porto Alegre, close to the Uruguay border, the nearest provider to you is in Sao Paulo. Porto Alegre is almost equidistant to Santa Fe, Argentina, so you could get your snuggle on over there. On cuddleup.com, I found 2 cuddle clients in the Porto Alegre area. Porto Alegre is known for many attractions, such as the Porto Alegre Cena, one of the most important theater festivals in Brazil. I would love to go see Les Miserables all in Portuguese. The songs sound beautiful in every language. I hope there's a cuddle client listening right now who is willing to book a fly me to you so we can go explore Porto Alegre together. Some more facts about Brazil. The word Brazil likely comes from the Portuguese word for brazelwood, a tree that once grew plentifully along the Brazilian coast. North to south, Brazil is the longest country in the world. Yes, longer than Chile, spanning 4,400 kilometers or 2,700 miles from north to south. It's the only country in the world that has the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn running through it. Brazil spans 4 time zones, and major rivers include the Paraná and the Amazon, the world's second longest river and the largest river in terms of volume of water. Brazilian cuisine varies greatly by region, reflecting the country's mix of indigenous and immigrant populations. Examples are the feijoada, the country's national dish, and regional foods such as the beiju, tropeiro, vatapa, polenta, and acarajé. Brazil has a variety of desserts such as the brigadeiro, which is chocolate fudge balls, bolo de rolo, roll cake with goiabada, cocada, which is a sweet coconut, and beijinho, which is coconut, truffles, and clove. Next, we have Bolivia. The plurinational state of Bolivia is a landlocked country in western central South America. The original name was Republic of Bolivar. Some days later, Congressman Manuel Martín Cruz proposed, if from Romulus, Rome, then from Bolivar, Bolivia. In Spanish, see the Romilo Roma de Bolivar, Bolivia. The name was approved by the Republic on October 3rd, 1825. About 12 million people live in Bolivia between 1438 and 1527. The Inca Empire expanded from its capital at Cusco, Peru. It gained control over much of what is now Andean Bolivia and extended its control into the fringes of the Amazon basin. I found a male cuddle provider in Santa Cruz de la Sierra. The English translation is Holy Cross of the Mountain Range. The provider is on cuddlecompanions.org. His username is Luis Russell, sin miedo al éxito. Something about exit. And so he has only one photo of himself, and the about reads, I am a young man eager to try new things, friendly and empathetic with people. I need to generate extra income. Greetings. My name is Jorge Russell. I am 26 years old. I am a doctor by profession and I currently work in private health clinics. I am also a young man who wants to try new things, friendly and empathetic with people. I think this would be a good job since I have experience in human contact and assertive communication. I dedicate myself to medicine. In addition, I need to generate extra income. This bio is very redundant. And this would be a good opportunity to do so and to discover a new world which I did not know existed. Cuddle Companion says he was last online in September of 2022. He has a graduate degree. He owns a passport and a car. He's fluent in English and Spanish. He is 5'11". He has black hair. He's Catholic. He's straight, but he is willing to cuddle men and women. I rarely hear about heterosexual Latino men cuddling other Latino men. That is a topic I would explore if I had the chance, the wonderful opportunity to interview Jorge in Santa Cruz de la Sierra. Santa Cruz is the largest city in Bolivia and produces 35% of the country's GDP. And yes, the Santa Cruz in Bolivia is sister cities with the Santa Cruz in California in the United States. Thanks to a quota policy, by 2022, Bolivia will be the second country in the world after Rwanda to have as many women parliamentarians in the Chamber of Senators. So good job, Rwanda and Bolivia. Next we have, drumroll please, Paraguay. Paraguay is a landlocked country surrounded by Brazil, Argentina, and Bolivia. Languages spoken in the Republic of Paraguay include Spanish and Guarani. The name Paraguay stems from the Guarani words for feather crown of waters. As of 2021, about 7.3 million people live in Paraguay. Paraguay consists of 17 departments and one capital district. Paraguay is divided into two regions, the Occidental region, or Chaco, and the Oriental region. I found two cuddle clients in Paraguay on Cuddle Up. One lives in the Gran Chaco region and the other lives in the outskirts of Asuncion. Gran Chaco is also known as Dry Chaco and Chaco Plain because it's a hot and semi-arid region. Asuncion is the capital city and largest city in Paraguay. Asuncion is dubbed the mother of cities. 540,000 people live in Asuncion. Wildlife include marsh deer, monkeys, armadillos, otters, tapirs, ocelots, jaguars, and the coypu looks much like a capybara. I've never heard of a coypu until I researched this today. Are y'all ready for Chile? Chile is a country located in western South America. It is the southernmost country in the world and closest to Antarctica. The capital and largest city of Chile is Santiago, and according to my research, Santiago is the sixth most populous city in South America. The national language of Chile is Spanish. Spain conquered and colonized Chile in the mid-16th century, replacing Inca rule, but failed to conquer the independent Mapuche people who inhabited what is now south-central Chile. I'm so proud of y'all. There are various theories about the origin of the word Chile. The Incas called the valley of the Aconcagua Chile by corruption of the name of a Picunche tribal chief named Tili, who ruled the area at the time of the Incan conquest in the 15th century. Other theories say Chile may derive its name from a Native American word meaning either ends of the earth or seagulls. In Mapuche, Chile means where the land ends. There are several indigenous languages spoken in Chile. Maputongan, Aymara, Rapa Nui, that's for Easter Island, and Chilean Sign Language. I sadly did not find any cuddle therapists in the northern region, or the Norte Grande, I think that's what it's called. If you're a cuddler in the Antofagasta region, the nearest provider to you is most likely in Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia. I did find 5 clients on Cuddle Up in the Santiago Vitacura area. If you live in Santiago or a Chilean city south of Santiago, the nearest cuddle practitioner to you is probably the one in Santa Fe, Argentina. Again, Santiago is the largest city and capital of Chile. Santiago de Chile is sister cities with Guayaquil, Ecuador, and Querétaro in central Mexico. I found one cuddle client in the Valparaiso area. Valparaiso is the second largest city in Chile. Valparaiso is sister cities with Medellin, Colombia, and Havana, Cuba. I found one cuddle client in the Malle Curico area. Curico is known as the land of black waters. Curico is home to the volcano Descapizado Grande. Curico is famous for Fiesta de la Vendimia, or wine harvest festival in English. I found one cuddle client in the Concepcion metropolitan area. Concepcion is known as the conception of the Blessed Mother of Light. The city was vital in the struggle for Chile's independence from Spain. Nowadays, Concepcion is known as a college town. I found one client in the Los Angeles area. I genuinely don't know if Los Angeles Angeles in Chile is sister cities with LA in the United States. Alas, I found nothing in the southern part of Chile, like Puerto Montt. I found nothing in Uruguay. If you live in Montevideo, Uruguay, the closest cuddle practitioner to you is most likely in Santa Fe, Argentina. Argentina is the last country I will cover. Argentina shares the bulk of the southern cone with Chile to the west, is also bordered by Bolivia and Paraguay to the north, Brazil to the northeast, and Uruguay to the east. Argentina, the South Atlantic Ocean is east of Argentina, and the Drake Passage is south of Argentina. Argentina is the second largest country in South America after Brazil. The first written use of the name in Spanish can be traced to La Argentina, a 1602 poem by Martín del Barco Centenera describing the region. Argentina is a federation of 23 provinces and one autonomous city, Buenos Aires. Provinces are divided for administration purposes, except for Buenos Aires province, which is divided into partidos. The city of Buenos Aires is divided into communes. Buenos Aires has 15.4 million people, making it the second most populous city in South America. But I unfortunately didn't find any professional cuddlers in that city. I did find 15 cuddle clients in the Santa Fe, Buenos Aires region. As for Buenos Aires, their coat of arms features 2 boats and a bird. Buenos Aires is part of the Union of Ibero-American Capital Cities, an NGO, quotation marks, an NGO that connects capital cities in Latin America with cities in the Iberian Peninsula in Europe. I found a male cuddle therapist in Santa Fe, Argentina. Their username on Cuddle Companions is Strello, except 0 instead of O. He has only 1 photo of himself. His about reads, "Hi everyone, thank you for visiting my profile. Love to cuddle, so why not use this to help others who are in need of a cuddle and bring positivity during these tough times. I am a very outgoing person, passionate and understanding with great conversation with a big sense of humor. I am a 5'8", 227 pounds, Hispanic." Why is he using pounds? I thought only people in the US used pounds, and then everyone else uses kilograms. Back to his profile. "And learning my new body after major weight loss. Love meeting new people and making new friends everywhere I go. I speak Spanish as my second language. Cuddling. ... Most intimate interaction we can all use. So let's meet up and cuddle. Schedule. My schedule is pretty hectic right now because I'm working 10-hour shifts. Oh gosh. Please send me a message and we can talk about the time, place, and see if I can accommodate you. Special arrangements. Going to see a movie. Going to dinner. Going for a walk. I'm open to it all. Send me your ideas. Cash App, Venmo, or Cash works best for me. Thank you." Hella sounds like he's from the United States because he said Cash App and Venmo. I think maybe Cash App is in the UK, but I'm pretty sure Venmo only is available in the US. But his profile says that he was last online in February of 2023. He has some college education. His occupation is a designer drafter. I don't know what that means. It just sounds like he draws. He owns a car, he has a passport, he speaks English and Spanish, but English is his first language. His rates are on par with the male cuddle providers that I spoke of during this podcast episode. As for his personal information, he is in his late 30s. He's Latino, he's straight, and he cuddles men and women. I really wonder if any of the people I discussed in this episode have ever met each other. That would be kind of cool. We all should meet each other. Let's all just arrange a cuddle party, please. It might be the first cuddle party in South America in 2023 or in the 2020s decade. Santa Fe de la Vera Cruz is famous for their suspension bridge, Puente Colgante, and the Paraná River. I mentioned that earlier. For Brazil, Santa Fe is sister cities with Montevideo, Uruguay, and Santa Fe Springs in California in the United States. I have no idea if they're sister cities with Santa Fe in New Mexico. Last, but certainly not least, I found 1 cuddle client in Tornquist, which is on the outskirts of Bahia Blanca. I did not find anything south of Tornquist. Tornquist is in the Buenos Aires province. Thank you, listeners, for sitting through this entire episode, or standing, or jogging through this entire episode. I don't know if my podcast is the type people listen to when they exercise. Tell me if you do that. Thank you all for listening, especially my patrons. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Pro Cuddle Hustle is a passion project for me. I never accept sponsorships, so this show stays ad-free for you. Your patronage is not only supporting me, but the current and aspiring professional cuddlers and perhaps cuddle party facilitators who tune in every month. If you haven't already, please leave positive reviews on Spotify, YouTube, Listen Notes, Castbox, Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Podcast Addict, all the places. Perhaps I'll read your review in a future episode. Thank you all all so much for being present at the YouTube premiere of my last episode, in which I interviewed Jasmine Simone. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in right now for the YouTube premiere. Please follow Pro Cuddle Hustle on all socials, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, and Twitter. I'm the moderator for r/professional cuddling. The subreddit only has about 100 members, so please join. Tell all your friends on Reddit to join that subreddit, and tell everyone on your other socials how important this professional cuddling podcast is. If you screenshot your review, put it on social media, and tag me, I am more likely to see it. I also manage 2 different Facebook groups, Ask a Professional Cuddler and Professional Cuddlers and SW Only. Please only join the latter if you are a professional cuddler or sex worker. This episode will be my first published one of June 2023. I am touring in June 2023. I am accepting cuddle bookings for Baltimore, Maryland. I will be there from June 15 to June 18. I charge premium rates when I'm touring. But if you want to cuddle me in the SF Bay area, my home base, I still have availability for June. If you are a podcast host and you want to interview me for your show, please email me. If you are a cuddle client and you want to book me, please email me. My email address is for serious inquiries only. It is felicityazra@gmail.com. No hyphens, no numbers, no underscores. Screening and deposits are mandatory for all cuddle clients. Please be COVID cautious. You do need to send me proof of COVID vaccination. Longer bookings will be prioritized. I accept deposits through Venmo, Cash App, and Patreon. Are y'all enjoying the new jingle? I know you are. This episode was researched by Felicity Azra. Felicity Azra edited the cover art and the audio files for this podcast. The YouTube video and respective thumbnail was edited by Felicity Azra. The social media for Pro Cuddle Hustle is managed by Felicity Azra. Shout out to Nela Ruiz for engineering the music for Pro Cuddle Hustle. I found her on Fiverr and left her a positive review. If you're a freelancer and want me to pay you for your services and leave you a positive review, please reach out to me on the SW Rolodex. As of recording, one of my freelancers is almost done creating the website for Pro Cuddle Hustle podcast. I'm so excited for y'all to see it. Catch y'all later. You have been listening to episode 27 of Pro Cuddle Hustle podcast.